Hello there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from artery.com. Today we're going to be making this very simple card. It's just a white on white with a little flash of colour. But I thought I would do something different. There's a few things about this I'm not happy with. First of all, you can see the foam there. I don't like that. The bow isn't great because I tried to do that myself. But I do have a bow maker, so I've made a different one, which is a lot better. And these are the supplies we're going to be using for this. It's very easy to make. I love this embossing folder by Sizzix. It's absolutely gorgeous, and this can be used for any season. I thought it wouldn't go because it's like flowers. I would have thought it was more for spring or summer, but as you can see, it looks very nice on a winter card as well. Just beautiful. So I'm going to be using that embossing folder, that little bow. I'm going to put it somewhere where I won't lose it. Some decorations for when we're finished. I've got the card base, and I have a few pieces of long white scrap. And instead of using blue, oh, hang on, I forgot something. That's the whole point of this card, was to utilise some stencils, some border stencils. So we're going to be using one of these as well. And instead of the blue Distress Oxide that I use, I'm going to use some gold embossing powder instead. I haven't tried that yet. This is my first attempt, so we're going to see if I can make it better. So I'll move everything out the way. Oh, sorry, and there's a gold metallic pen as well. I'm going to be using that just for some decoration. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take one of these. I have loads of these long white scraps. I'm going to be using my grip mat. I'm just lining that up with the grid as best I can. Which one should I use? I think I'll use that one. It doesn't matter if it's not in the middle because I'm going to be trimming it down in a bit anyway. I'm just going to try and get it kind of straight, where it's not the end of the world if it's not in the middle. I always forget this anti-static powder pad. This just stops embossing powder getting stuck to any places that you don't want it. I think with the powder on, it's not sticking quite as well, so I'm going to put some tape on. This is just, I think it's called painter's tape. It's just a kind of masking tape. It's very strong though. Now I'm going to use embossing ink pad. Try and really get into these bits. Okay, this doesn't look as though it's going to work, so I'll get it heat set and see where we go from there. Right, I actually might be able to work with that. It didn't turn out as badly as I thought it would. It all depends on how I can cut this down. It is quite tricky embossing with stencils. You have to really be careful to get that ink right the way in there. Okay, that took some doing. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it'll do. Right, I should put that to one side for a moment. And now this is going to be the main mat, the main layer on the card. So when you use a 3D embossing folder, first of all make sure you've got it the way you want it, and then on the back of the paper, the back of the card that you're going to use, spray it with some water. Just a couple of sprays will do, It just helps stop it from cracking, that's all, because this is a 3D embossing folder and we don't want any cracking in the pattern. Just get it set as straight as you can. And use whatever sandwich fits with the embossing machine that you're using. I'm using the Gina K Intricate. It's going to be trial and error for a lot of machines which sandwich you need for which embossing folder. Yes. And that's turned out nicely. Lovely. So that is going to go onto here. Now what I did the last time was put foam behind there. Instead of doing that this time, I'm going to cut down some pieces of card, 2 pieces, to go on the back, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, so now I can glue that on there. Need some strong glue. Right, before we attach it to the card, I'm going to draw a little border with my pen. So it gives the illusion that it's matted onto a gold background, but it isn't, which should save on postage. I'm just using a ruler just to draw a line down the longer edges. Okay, what I should have done is drawn the lines down before I actually matted it onto here, because that one looks wider. So now what we have to do is put that onto the card base like that, again using strong glue. Okay, that's looking not too bad. I'm sure you can do better. Right, well that was a complete and utter nightmare. Oh, my camera has just fallen down about 5 times. It's just done it again. My phone is just falling off its stand constantly. It's happening every few minutes, so I'm just going to quickly get through this now. Right, where are my decorations? Well, the decorations I had have just completely vanished. You don't need too many. My phone has just fallen down yet again, so I am finishing this now. I hope that was helpful. It wasn't to me. Honestly, this has just been a nightmare. This is a very simple, well, it should be very simple, white on white card with just some gold decorations. I know I've made it look terrible, but it is actually quite easy to do. You don't have to do any heat embossing if you don't want. You could do ooh, hang on. So my phone has just fallen down and hit me yet again. So I am going to hurry up with this next part because I forgot to put the ribbon on. That's going to fall down and hit me on the hand any second. And there we go. A card, a nightmare of a card with ribbon and a few little decorations. So like I say, you don't have to heat emboss if you don't want. You can just use ink, but just use anything that you like. It's just a white on white embossed panel, just a strip using a border, stencil and a few decorations, and that's it. I have no idea whether you managed to stick with me this long, but if you have, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye now.